Welcome back, SherBears. Today's video is going to be a not Friday favorites. I've actually decided, because I've been using so many different products, not to do a Friday Fabs and Flubs this week. I do have one flub I want to share, so I will share it at the end of this video. This one is going to be products I want to give more love to. These are products that I've had sitting in my drawer and I'm just not using them, and I think that I should be using them more. So to get started, I actually have 3 foundations, and I know that seems extreme, but when you are always reaching for, I reach for Mary Kay all the time. I reach for the CoverGirl Clean and Clear. I reach for my Makeup Forever. Continuously I'm reaching for that one. So I do have 3 that I don't think I give enough love to, and I thought that if I put these all in a box and said, okay, you have to use these products every day or at least a couple times a week, I would actually get some use out of them. So the first one I'm going to start with is my Joe Fresh Daily Boost Fluid Foundation, and the reason why I don't use this as much is because it is a light foundation. Not light in color, but it's light. It doesn't have much coverage. So here it is, plus it's illuminating. I do need to use my mattifying primer with this because it is illuminating and it does tend to make me look a bit shinier during the day. So I really do like this foundation. It feels great on your skin. Your face doesn't feel like it's dried up, which a lot of mattifying ones can do. But because the most coverage you can get out of it is a medium, and that's building it up, I haven't given it enough love. So I figure if I just put it in here, I can give it a little more love. And in the fall, I tend to be less oily, so it is our drier season. That way I can get use out of it. The next foundation I have in here, which is another drugstore foundation, and it's my True Match, and this is the oil-free one, so, and it's in the color C4. I like this foundation. I think the only problem I have with it is that I have to pour it out. If this had a pump, I would probably reach for it all the time. And I know that's stupid because the CoverGirl one I use is not a pump either. But for some reason this little bottle just makes me think it needs a pump. I don't know, but I will get more use out of it. And the next thing I have is, and I know I've had this in a Fabs or a monthly favorites, but it's the Makeup Forever HD Ultra HD, and this is in the color 118. I don't know why I don't use this one, because I can't say it's not because it doesn't have a pump, because it does have a pump. I think it may be because it is, sorry, my neighbors are doing stuff, and for once we actually have nice weather, so my window's open so that my cat can be at the window. I think it's just because it's so expensive that I'm like, oh, I don't want to use that. And that's a stupid reason you bought it. You have to use it before it goes bad. So I've put this in here to get some use out of it. The next item I have in here is my Joe Fresh. Again, I'm sorry, this is a Canadian product, but this is the oil absorbing pressed powder in light medium, and this I know I also have had in a favorites, and I think maybe why I don't use this, maybe it's why I don't use the Joe Fresh as much, the foundation too, is because I know that this can't be bought anywhere except Shoppers Drug Mart in Canada. They have exclusive rights to the Joe Fresh cosmetic line, so I think that might be why, but I need to use this. It is a good powder and I do like it, so this is in here. Next, on to blushes. I have two, and one of them is a Colourpop, and this is Between the Sheets, and I do like the Colourpop blushes. I think the biggest problem with these is that they are a bit different creatures, so you have to actually work with them. But once you've got them on in place and blended in, they are just beautiful and they stay all day. So I've decided to pull that out too. I guess this is kind of like a shop my stash. These are products I love, but I don't give enough love to. The next item in here is the e.l.f. Cream Blush Palette, which looked like that. And now that it is drier, I think the reason why I didn't use this much in the summer is because cream blushes tend to be a bit dewier, and I'm already dewy without adding a dewy finish on to my skin. So now that fall and winter are coming and it's drier air, I think I will get a lot of use out of these. Now on to some eye products. I'm going to start with an under eye setting powder, and this is the e.l.f. High Definition Under Eye Setting Powder. The reason why I pulled this out is we did the ride or die tag, and so many of the ladies had said this was the ride or die for setting under their eye. I've had this in my drawer for I don't know how long, and I just never pulled it out. And I have to tell you, I use the setting powder, the one in the black box, the translucent. I use it all the time. My biggest complaint about it is it's messy. This isn't messy. This is really good, and I've actually been using it the last few days to set, and I'm like, why didn't I use this more? And in fact, I'm telling you, I have been using it so much that I actually ordered some more when I placed my e.l.f. order. So, the next thing I'm going to go into is eyeshadows, eyeliners. I do not have any lip products in here because I'm constantly reaching for another lipstick, whatever goes in my purse. That's the one I'm using for like a week or whatever, except for my blush nude, which I'm almost out of, so I refuse to buy another one until I've used up some more lip products. So the next item I have here is my Coastal Scents Reveal 2 palette. I actually have 3 of the Coastal Scents palettes, and this is the one that I'm pulling out because it has more fall tones to it. So it has your berries, it has your bronzy colors, it has the pinks that I love so much, because if I don't have pink, I don't know, I just can't use it. And this is just a matter of, I have so many palettes. Maybe if I make a box once a month and put these in here, put a different palette in here that I know I'm not going to constantly reach for. You're never going to see the Tartlets and Bloom palette in here. You are never going to see the CoverGirl Roses palette in here, because I use them all the time. They're one of the ones I reach for constantly. So I've got that in there to try and get more use out of it. I also have an Avon quad in here, and this is one of the few Avon quads, and it is old school because now they have squares. This is one of the few Avon quads where they aren't all shimmer colors. So it has a couple shimmers, but it has some mattes, which is why I pulled this one and not one of my other ones. I do have a couple that I really like, but this is in the color Mocha Latte. And I wanted to pull this one out because it's browns, but they're cool tone browns, so that I'm getting some of the cool that I need, because I need cool colors. And these are good. The all matte palettes, no, but these ones are good. I also pulled out a smudge pot, which is from e.l.f. And this one is in Wine Not. Wine, as in the drink, wine. So this is just a pretty brownie purple color, which I thought would look good as like a smoked out eye. I have several of these pots and never pay any attention to them. Next thing I have in here, and this one is actually broken, and it's Colourpop eyeshadow in Leopard. So it is a purple color, but this is like a royal purple color. And this again is, they're sitting there, they're singles. Why not just take a neutral palette and add these in? The next thing I have in here for eyeshadow is an e.l.f. baked eyeshadow. And again, I'm pulling these colors that just scream fall. This one, look at that. Why am I not using that? This is like a wine color. And it's called Burnt Plum, so it's like a wine color. It's perfect for fall. And the last of the single things, I think, yep. This is a Colourpop eyeliner in Best O, and I have these in the pots. I also have them in the pencil form, and more often than not, I reach for the pencil. Probably because it's a little bit easier than grabbing a brush. But that's Best O, which is kind of a purpley brown color, which I think will be really good with the eyeshadows I've chosen. So I have two other palettes here. One is an eyeshadow slash blush palette, and this is the ABH Cosmetics Blush Neutrals. So it's 26 eyeshadows and blush palette. And these colors I can see working with a few of them through the fall, because you do have your bronzy shades, but you also have some nice matte, like peaches that you can work with. And then you've got some grays and some merlots. And the blushes, I probably won't use this blush because it's a bit purple for my skin tone. I like purple, but this is a bit purple. This would look good as an eyeshadow, and maybe that's what I'll end up using it for. But this color right here is just beautiful. It's like a nice neutral color that you can use for your cheeks, and you could forgo your bronzer that day with that color. I have a couple of e.l.f. blushes that are like that I just don't bother putting on bronzer if I use them because they're a browner tone. So this I've had for I don't know how long, and I've barely touched it. Like you could see, it's been swatched and that's about it. I have used a couple colors, but nothing to say, yes, I've reached for this over and over again, and it does deserve love. And the last thing I have in here is the first contour kit I ever bought, and I have never really used it. And it's because after I bought it, I bought the Kat Von D one, which I think is everybody's ride or die, really, for high-end contour. The e.l.f. ones are the contour of choice for, I think, most drugstore. But this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills in the light to medium, and there's no mirror, so I don't have to worry about that. These colors are quite nice, and they would suit me, and I don't know why I haven't been using them. I know I don't contour that much, but I think it's something I need to learn how to do and do properly, and this looks like something that would work with my skin tone. I do like the Kat Von D. I will use the Kat Von D, but I'm going to focus on using this one because this was quite expensive. And it does have a yellow and the highlight in it, so great all around palette. I think I should really use this. So these are the items I want to use. Not up, just give them some love. Sort of a shop my stash for the next month. I will be using these, not exclusively, but more so because they're going to be in a box that I'm going to see every time I go to look for my makeup. Now, I did say there was one Flub that I have, and this palette I don't think is available anymore. It was from Christmas of last year, and it's the Vice 4, the Urban Decay Vice 4. It is not this whole palette. It is not the whole palette. It is one color in particular, and it's this one. It is called Delete, and I wished I could delete it. When you swatch it, it swatches beautifully, like beautifully, like it's highly pigmented. You swatch it, it swatches like nice. But when I put this on my eyes the other day, I could not get it to blend at all. And it wasn't like I was using a bad brush. It was a brush that I use all the time. I could not get it to blend, and it looked patchy and awful, and I don't know what I was doing wrong, but it did not like me. So that is my flub of the week. I liked, this is one of those palettes where I don't give this enough love. I'm going to use this. I picked it up, I used it, and I used it with my Makeup Geek shadows, which is why I know it's not the other colors that I was using, because those are tried and true. I was using several of the other colors in here too, because there is not a lot of mattes you need to pull from another collection. I love these colors, just this one did not work for me at all. So that's everything for this Friday Fabs, which isn't Fabs, it's Shop My Stash. I hope this video isn't too long and you've stuck around to the end of it. Much love, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.